You're burning out because you think hustling nonstop is the only path to success. Today we're talking about the success spectrum. Right? So what the f is the success spectrum? So first of all, we're going to have to create a line. So let's create the line, and somewhere here is the middle. Right? So let's call here hustling. Right? So that's hustling. Right? And let's box that up to be red. Let's make you red. Right? And then let's call here balance. And let's call here recovery. And let's underline you green. So where we get it all fucked up, and I've been there before, you've been there before, we all fucking have been here and understand that this hustling is where the most of us want to be, because we believe that the only way to do it is to continuously always work and work and work and work and work, right? And then there are others that only believe in recovery, which means they just relax. And then there are some that do the balance, right? And sometimes there are going to be periods where balance works, but I promise you're going to more than likely set default on one or the other. Right? So balance is good, but you're probably not going to sit in balance all the time, right? So figure out where you want to be, right? And usually type A people believe in hustling nonstop. I am one of those people and a proponent to think that hustling is the only way to success, but that leads to very hard burnouts, right? And what are burnouts? Burnouts are only your body telling you that you need to fucking recover. Literally. This is going to be burnout central, if you allow it to, if you allow this to be. So if you stay here all the time, let's say you stay here 90 to 100% of the time, you are guaranteed going to be in burnout central, and you are going to be fucked up, right? And I'll give you a story because it just makes the most sense. In the beginning stages of my agency, what I had done was I would work. Again, hustling, getting more clients, getting those small wins, getting these things underway so I would build the momentum to continue. And that also worked. Am I saying it was wrong? The wrong thing to do? Hell no. It fucking worked. But what I didn't fucking understand was why after a month, maybe 3 weeks of hard and intense work, no friends, no distractions, no XYZ, that I was fucking crashing. I was burning out like a motherfucker. Creative ideas were gone. Didn't understand how to deal with people because I was so fucking agitated because I needed sleep and rest, right? And rest isn't just, going to sleep for 8 hours. Rest could literally mean that you need to stop fucking working on the project that you're working on because your brain needs other things to help your creativity, or help your dopamine levels, or help whatever the fuck you're going through, right? So figure that shit out. Get out of this hustling 100% of the time, because you're going to burn out at some point, and that burnout is a hard fucking crash out, bro. It's a hard crash out. And sometimes you'll stay here for like weeks, right? I've been in here for 2 weeks before, where you're just sitting and you're just like, fuck this, fuck the project, fuck everybody, don't want to deal with anybody, all y'all can fuck off, bro. And you never want to be there too long, because it'll degrade what you just worked so hard on. So it makes sense to find some recovery, right? And get yourself into a place of just letting yourself die down from the high pressure of hustling, right? So hustling is burnout central for sure. Recovery now, it should be strategic. Recharge. Right, so it should be a strategic recharge. Right, so you should be going to recovery after certain plots of hardcore hustling. Right, I'm not going to recovery off the bat because it would make no sense. I have nothing to recover from. Right? So if you're in recovery all the time, if you're the opposite and you're in recovery all the time, then you might want to force yourself over to the hustling side so that you have something to recover from, Right. And so strategic recharge is very fucking important. It's some of the, like, it's helped my life, my business, my mental state, my relationships, the way I think tremendously, because it's not, oh, I'm just going to go to sleep. Oh, I'm just going to sit over here. Oh, I'm just going to go experience this thing because I just want to. No, it'll align almost with whatever I'm working on the project, but it gives me enough release that it doesn't really affect or turn on this hustle mindset. Let's say I'm working on a project for a restaurant, right? For content for a restaurant, right? And I've been doing that we had a big project for the last 90 days. And we had to really put our fucking face down, no distractions, didn't have to deal with any humans, and had to deal with that solely, right? There's going to be a period in time where enough pressure is built up that I need to get back over to recovery. Right? But recovery for me was going on a food tour. And I remember that. I left and I flew over to LA and I had a food tour. So we had a 90-day fucking project to make content for this big hospitality group. It was phenomenal, right? It came out well, but you have a lot of work to do. So when I decided to go and make the strategic recharge, what I ended up doing was I booked a fucking flight to LA, stayed over at my favorite fucking beach there, Manhattan Beach. Stayed over there, and I was done. And I just went on a food tour. I tried all the food, all the cocktails, kicked up my feet, went on the pier, and cooled it. But it was a strategic recharge because it still was in the field that I worked, right? So I didn't have to build content. I didn't have to worry about clients and X, Y, Z. All I did was kick my feet up, eat, drink, and have good times and memories with friends. But it was in the space that I worked on, so it still gave me creative ideas. It still helped me see where I could maybe implement better things or strategies for my clients, but I'm not actively worried about it too much. But it just allowed my brain to relax and still be free, right? And then what you realize once I got back from that trip is that I have to strive sometimes, right, to be balanced. And this is probably where a lot of your maintenance, right? So that's where maintenance is. So balance is usually maintenance. So if everything's going fine in the agency, I have everything under control, X, Y, Z, don't need any problem, don't have any fires to put out. I mean, there's always fires to put out, but things are generally in the okay area. Balance is what I'm looking for. So I'm not looking to go crazy. I'm not trying to go crazy on hustling. I'm not trying to add any more clients. I'm not trying to do anything. But there's a period of, like, let's say 3 months to 4 months that all I need to do is just maintain what I've built. That is it. Maintain what you've built. And that means hustle when you need to hustle. So there are going to be periods of time where you hustle, and there are going to be periods of time where you need to get adequate rest. And balance is literally just bringing the two together. So here and here is balance, right? Let's call it 50-50. That's it. Balance is just that, right? And a lot of us aren't going to fucking know what balance is at all, and we're probably not going to be anywhere close to that on a day-to-day basis. But you'll get to spaces and times. I think it's all within time periods. You don't have to do either side or be in balance all the time. You just need to understand when the periods come upon you. If you realize that you've been working so hard, and then what you've worked for has now come to fruition, and now you can allow it to just do its thing, and all you have to do is maintain it. Balance is what you need, right? If you realize that you've been working too fucking hard for the last 8 months, head down, having hard times getting back into the swing of relationships that you have with people, don't really give a fuck about anything at all besides whatever you're hustling towards, that means you probably need a period of recovery or strategic recovery so you don't fully lose momentum over here, right? And if you realize that you're always in recovery all the time, which just means you're just recharging all the time, you have a lot of energy that you need to expend, which means you need to start hustling, right? So you have to assess and understand yourself to a degree to make this work. But if you're over here all the time, I'm talking to the type A people, that's fine. Again, a nigga like me would tell you, bro, you should stay at 89%. Fuck it. Just stay in the hustle space. But you really should prioritize getting some rest. You do. We all need it. And it's helped tremendous. If the only way that you're going to get creative ideas to flow the way that they should, and get to places that you want to be and just smile on a day-to-day for the things that you've already done and be grateful for them without having your head down and fucked up in the gutter because you're hustling and annoyed at certain things within the project that you're working on, is by getting that recovery. And sometimes that means getting on a fucking flight and leaving and going across the country or outside the country. So, hey, figure out where you are. Learn to be balanced sometimes when you've built something good. And if you're on the opposite side, just jump over for a little bit and see what the fuck happens.
Boy, Mr. Brown.